The wild isn't just dangerous, it's brilliant. Some predators don't rely on teeth, claws, or speed. They rely on tricks, strategy, and cunning. Dolphins play with poison to enter a trance. Birds use fire to flush out prey. Ants farm other insects like tiny ranchers. And deep in the Amazon, a snake eats one of the deadliest frogs alive. A frog so toxic it would kill almost anything. How does it survive? That's a secret we'll uncover in today's video. Fish that hunt birds from underwater. In the open waters of the Indian Ocean, there's a fish that doesn't just hunt other fish, it hunts birds. The giant trevally, a muscle-packed torpedo with eyes like a sniper and the reflexes of a predator built for speed. While most fish wait for prey to come to them, the trevally does the opposite. It watches the sky. Young terns and boobies skim low over the surface, barely touching the water. And that's when the trevally strikes. Out of nowhere, it rockets upward like a missile, bursting out of the sea and snatching birds straight out of the air. Scientists once thought the stories were exaggerated. Then the cameras caught it. A trevally leaping several feet above the ocean, jaws clamping around a bird mid-flight in a single perfect strike. What makes it even wilder is the precision. The fish calculates distance, angle, and timing through the water's surface. Something light bends and distorts. Yet it still nails the attack with almost impossible accuracy. Most fish eat plankton or smaller fish. This one hunts the sky. The giant trevally is proof that in nature, even a peaceful, empty horizon isn't as safe as it looks. Because sometimes the danger comes launching straight out of the deep. If you're loving these unbelievable predators so far, hit subscribe and smash that notification bell. You don't want to miss the next jaw-dropping story. The insect farmers. In the microscopic world beneath our feet, there's a tiny creature that acts more like a rancher than an insect. Ants. But not just any ants. These are the farmers of the animal kingdom, and their livestock? Aphids. While most insects wander the leaves eating whatever they find, aphids produce something special, a sugary liquid called honeydew, and ants are obsessed with it. So obsessed that they don't just gather it, they farm it. Ants protect aphids from predators, guard them from ladybugs, and even stand over them with their jaws open, daring anything to come close. In return, the aphids let the ants milk them. The ants tap their bodies with their antennae, and the aphids release drops of honeydew like tiny living vending machines. But here's where it gets crazier. If a plant starts drying out or danger appears, ants will pick up their aphids and carry them to a safer, better feeding spot, literally relocating their herd. Some colonies even move entire aphid populations underground during winter, keeping them alive until the world warms up again. It's farming, it's herding, it's animal husbandry, done by insects no bigger than a grain of rice. In the insect world, ants aren't just workers. They're ranchers running a tiny, perfectly organized livestock empire. The orca power flip. In the open ocean, there's only one creature that can strike fear into a great white shark. Not a bigger shark, not a giant squid, but orcas, the ocean's most strategic killers. And they use a trick so shocking, it sounds like something out of a documentary's final twist. They flip great white sharks onto their backs. When a shark is turned upside down, it enters a state called tonic immobility, a kind of natural paralysis where its muscles lock and its body shuts down. Most predators don't even know this weakness exists, but orcas do, and they use it with surgical precision. Working in pairs or small teams, orcas ram the shark, grab it by the pectoral fin, and forcefully roll it over. Within seconds, the great white, the ocean's most feared predator, goes still, completely helpless. And that's when the orcas go for the liver, a single organ so rich in nutrients that it's basically a giant floating energy bar. Once the shark is immobilized, the orcas bite with insane accuracy, removing only the liver and leaving the rest behind, clean, efficient, and horrifyingly smart. For millions of years, great whites ruled the ocean through brute strength and instinct. But orcas, they rule with intelligence, teamwork, and a mastery of their enemy's biology. In the world's biggest battlefield, the ocean, knowledge becomes the deadliest weapon of all. The bullfrog beast. The African bullfrog isn't just big, it's a living contradiction, a creature that looks harmless, yet hunts like a miniature crocodile. This monster of a frog can weigh over a kilo, with a mouth so wide it could swallow your whole hand. And inside that mouth? Not soft frog gums, but hard, sharp, tooth-like projections called odontoid processes, nature's hidden daggers. Most frogs eat insects. This one eats whatever dares to move. Small birds that hop too close? Gone. Rodents running past? Grabbed. Snakes, lizards, and even other frogs? All fair game. The African bullfrog is an ambush predator. It buries itself halfway into mud or grass, staying completely still, just two eyes sticking out like a sniper waiting for a target. Then, boom. It launches with terrifying speed, locking onto prey with a bite force strong enough to hold a struggling rat. And here's the wildest part. These frogs are so aggressive they'll even cannibalize each other. Male bullfrogs have been seen devouring rivals, and sometimes even their own young if food is scarce. But it's not all brutality. During breeding season, males turn into devoted guardians, defending tadpoles against birds, snakes, and anything else that threatens them, even if that means fighting predators 2 or 3 times their size. A frog by body, a hardcore predator by instincts, the bug that wears its victims. Assassin bugs are small, but they use one of the strangest tricks in the insect world. These bugs hunt ants. They sneak up quietly, stab the ant with a sharp mouthpart, and inject venom that turns the inside of the ant into liquid. Then the bug drinks it. Most insects would stop there, but not the assassin bug. After eating the ant, it picks up the empty ant body and puts it on its back. Then it kills another ant and adds that body too. Soon the assassin bug is walking around with a big pile of dead ants stacked on top of it. Why does it do this? Because the dead ants act like armor and camouflage. Spiders and other predators think the bug is a whole group of ants, so they don't attack. Even real ants often ignore it, because it smells just like their own colony. The bigger the pile of ant bodies, the safer the assassin bug is. It's a simple but genius survival trick. Don't hide from your enemies. Look like the thing they fear most. The spider that pretends to be an ant. Some spiders survive not by hiding, but by pretending to be something far more dangerous. These are ant-mimicking spiders. At first glance, they don't even look like spiders at all. Their bodies are thin, their legs are shaped differently, and they even walk in a zigzag way, just like ants do. Why ants? Because most predators avoid ants. Ants are aggressive, bite hard, and attack in groups. So looking like an ant is like having built-in protection. These spiders don't just copy the body shape, they copy the movement, the speed, even the way ants lift their front legs. The spider holds one leg up to look like an antenna. Some species even match the shadow and rhythm of ant footsteps, fooling predators from every angle. And here's the smartest part. Ants rely heavily on smell to identify each other, so these spiders sometimes rub themselves on real ants or ant trails to pick up the right scent. The result? A spider that is almost impossible to tell apart from a real ant, even for other insects. It's the perfect disguise. Don't just hide from danger. Become something danger never wants to touch. The anglerfish that hunts with light. In the pitch-black depths of the ocean, where no sunlight reaches, survival is a battle of tricks. Enter the deep-sea anglerfish, a predator that carries its own fishing rod. At the end of a long, flexible spine on its head, it has a glowing lure. The light isn't just pretty, it's a trap. Tiny fish and crustaceans, drawn to the glow like moths to a flame, swim closer and closer until the anglerfish strikes. Its jaws are huge, lined with needle-sharp teeth, and its stomach can stretch to swallow prey almost as big as itself. There's no escape once something touches the lure. The anglerfish is the ultimate predator of the deep. It doesn't chase, it traps. It doesn't need speed, it has deception. In a world of total darkness, sometimes all you need is a little light to kill. Dolphins that get high. In the oceans off Japan, some dolphins have discovered one of the strangest tricks in nature. They use poison to get high. They bite small pufferfish, carefully enough to release just tiny amounts of toxin. Then they pass the pufferfish around in their group, entering a trance-like, almost hypnotic state. It's like a natural drug trip, but they don't die from the poison. Their bodies handle it safely. Scientists watching this behavior noticed the dolphins move slowly, roll gently in the water, and even seem to play while under the effect. It's an astonishing example of how intelligent animals can experiment with the chemicals around them, almost like humans discovering recreational drugs. In the wild, danger and play can mix in the most unexpected ways. These dolphins turned one of the ocean's deadliest toxins into a bizarre form of entertainment and survived to tell the tale. The bird that hunts with fire. In the dry landscapes of Australia, one bird has turned nature's most destructive force into a weapon. The firehawk, a group of raptors including black kites and whistling kites, actually spreads wildfires to hunt. They pick up burning sticks in their claws and drop them into dry grass. The fire spreads quickly, and as animals flee the flames, the birds swoop in to catch their terrified prey. Scientists have observed the same bird repeating this trick for years, even traveling miles to keep a wildfire going. It's a mix of intelligence, strategy, and fearlessness, using fire to flush out dinner in a way no human hunter could. In Australia, fire isn't just destruction. For these birds, it's a hunting tool, a living predator that manipulates one of nature's most dangerous forces to survive. The sniper of the water. In rivers and ponds across Asia, there's a tiny fish with incredible precision. The archerfish doesn't chase its prey. Instead, it shoots insects down with jets of water. It spots bugs on leaves, twigs, or branches above the water, takes aim, and fires a perfectly shaped water jet. One shot, and the insect is knocked into the water. An easy meal. The accuracy is insane. Archerfish can hit targets over a meter away, even adjusting for the refraction of light in water. Some can shoot up to 10 times per minute, making them one of the fastest and most consistent hunters in the animal kingdom. It's not strength that makes them deadly. It's geometry, timing, and pure skill. A tiny fish that turned hunting into an art form, proving that in nature, brains can beat brawn every time. The odd couple of the wild. In the frozen forests and tundras of the north, two very different predators have formed a bizarre hunting partnership. Wolves and ravens, one hunts on the ground, the other flies above, seem like unlikely allies. Ravens spot fresh carcasses from the sky and lead wolf packs to the location with their calls and flight patterns. The wolves arrive, tear open the tough hide, and eat their fill. Meanwhile, the clever ravens swoop down to grab pieces they couldn't reach on their own. It's not just a one-time thing. Researchers have observed this behavior across years and generations, showing that ravens remember which wolf packs are most cooperative, and even follow them specifically for future meals. This unusual duo proves that in the wild, intelligence and cooperation can be just as deadly as strength and speed. The tiny trapmaster. In deserts and sandy areas around the world, there's a predator no bigger than a fingernail, but a master of engineering. The antlion doesn't chase prey. Instead, it builds deadly traps in the sand. The larva digs a funnel-shaped pit, steep and smooth, so any unsuspecting insect that wanders in can't climb back out. With every slip, the antlion flicks sand toward the center, ensuring its victim slides straight into its waiting jaws. It's patience and precision that make it deadly. The antlion sits at the bottom of the pit, hidden, jaws open, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. A tiny insect can walk right past it, but one wrong step, and it's gone. In nature, the antlion proves that you don't need size to be a brilliant hunter, just brains and strategy. The bullet of the sea. Beneath the waves, there's a small crustacean packing a punch that could shatter glass. The mantis shrimp may be no bigger than your hand, but its claws strike with the force of a bullet. When it hits prey, it doesn't just crush it. The strike is so fast that it creates tiny bubbles that briefly boil the water. These bubbles collapse with a small explosion, adding even more damage to its target. Crabs, snails, and even fish don't stand a chance. The mantis shrimp can smash shells, tear flesh, and leave its prey stunned before it even realizes what hit them. And here's the wildest part. It can punch dozens of times per second, faster than any human can blink. Brains and speed meet raw power, making the mantis shrimp one of the deadliest hunters in the ocean despite its small size. A tiny predator, with a punch big enough to rewrite the rules of hunting. Snake that eats cyanide. In the heart of the Amazon, there's a snake that doesn't just slither around, it hunts one of the deadliest creatures on the planet. Meet Erythrolamprus epinephalus, a snake that actively preys on poison dart frogs. Yes, the same frogs whose skin is packed with enough toxin to kill dozens of humans. So why would this snake risk it? Simple. because it's a high-reward meal. Most predators avoid these frogs, but not this snake. Fewer competitors, plenty of protein, and a target that's literally screaming "Don't eat me" in bright colors. When it hunts, it's careful. The snake stalks the frog, strikes quickly, and often drags it across the ground. Scientists think this helps reduce some of the frog's toxins before swallowing. Then, head first, the frog disappears into the snake's jaws. Now here's the crazy part. Once inside, the snake's liver does the heavy lifting. Scientists studying the royal ground snake discovered something incredible. When they tested liver extracts in the lab, the frog's deadly toxins simply stopped working. It turns out this snake's liver is loaded with special enzymes that can break down the toxins, converting them into harmless compounds, almost like how our bodies detox alcohol or nicotine, but on a completely different level. But that's not all. Its liver also seems to produce toxin sponge proteins, molecules that latch onto the poison before it can reach the snake's nerves. Imagine tiny biological sponges soaking up the danger the moment it enters the body. That's how this snake eats one of the most toxic frogs on Earth and walks away perfectly fine. And here's the twist. Nature has pulled this trick before. California ground squirrels use a similar strategy to survive rattlesnake bites. Their blood carries antitoxin proteins perfectly tuned to the venom of the snakes living in their region, like an evolutionary custom antidote. So while the poison dart frog relies on its chemistry to stay alive, this Amazon snake has evolved an internal chemistry lab of its own. And that's what lets it swallow death and call it lunch. If you loved seeing these incredible feats of nature, hit subscribe and press the notification bell so you never miss the next astonishing story from the wild and beyond.